For the start of this next video, rare bit of sunshine. I'm going to be concentrating on plasterboarding, finishing the inside of the tiny cabin, which is just behind me. It's a building that I've been building for a while. I live here full time. This is my off-grid cabin where I live with my partner in rural France. It's a beautiful part of France, stunning scenery, and I try and share with you the passion that I have for building and some of the beautiful scenery here in the local area. Last night there was an incredible storm. Yesterday there was already flooding in the valley, and this morning, you may be familiar with this view if you're used to following me. There is a tiny river and it's turned into a lake. So let's go down and take a look. But from the window inside the new hut, I have now got a lake view. Let's get on and try and put the vapour barrier on this wall. So I'm hoping to my friend Vincent, who's just finished building a tiny house and he's got some leftovers. He's agreed to give me 5 meters, which is all I need to finish. Okay, finally, the plasterboard is up, which means I can now start with the joints. Plasterboarding was long. I didn't find it particularly motivating or fun. The next job is not going to be that much fun either, but it is going to be different, so I'm clinging to the variety element to get me through this. At any point in a project, I guess you get to just wanting it to be finished. I think I'm there, very much affected by the weather, which has been gloomy and raining for about 10 days, and my energy levels have also been a bit gloomy and raining. But whatever, we're here, let's celebrate how far we've got and try and push on now and get to the point where I can get some paint on the walls. That's my big next aim. If you go too far ahead in your mind, I start thinking about flooring, and then I start thinking about this and that, and it just ends up feeling like you've got so many things to do, it's never going to be finished. So just concentrating actually tonight just on filling the gaps. That's it, fill the gaps. It's an hour's job, so let's do that. For the last 6 weeks or so, we haven't had any sheep at all. The last of last year's sheep went to market a while back, and the field's been completely empty. A couple of days ago, the farmer bought a new cheptel, is the word that he used, which is just the word for a flock of sheep. They're a funny bunch. This is the first time I've seen them spread out. It's taken them a couple of days to get used to this place. They're a flock that he's taken from another farmer. Mixture of colours this year, not all the same colour. It's quite nice. And I was just in the summer kitchen. We've had a beautiful day today. It's been very much this afternoon, felt like properly like spring. I've just been launching myself into some spring cleaning in the summer kitchen to try and make that space usable for us. And whilst I was cleaning, I heard my first little lamb. I've just run over to have a look, and there is a newborn lamb on the far side. I'm not going to go and disturb them. There'll be about 300 lambs here in a few weeks, so we'll get plenty of lamb noise. But that is quite a nice signal to me that spring is on its way. The beginning of a new season is on its way. It's really positive as far as I'm concerned. I'm not much of a winter lover. This winter's been really wet. All over Europe's been pretty wet. New life is on its way. Finished doing the joints, so that's the first coat to cover the paper joint. Now it needs to be sanded, and then there's another whole coat to go. Oh, been putting the sanding off. I'm not looking forward to it, but time to get on. Another stunning, beautiful day. We're so lucky with the weather. I think I've finished my second coat of plaster, so I'm now going to go and do another sanding expedition, which I'm not looking forward to, but I keep telling myself we're nearly there. I've sort of been questioning whether or not plasterboard was the right way forward. It's a lot more work than I remember. Two things I've thought about actually. If I was doing it in wood, it in theory would be quicker potentially, but you still end up cutting lots and lots of bits of wood and screwing it, and there's a lot of up and down, and you know, but the plasterboard inside the cabin looks so nice and fresh, and it's such a visual relief in a small space to have just plain white walls that I just keep telling myself it will be worth it, that the result in the end is going to be well worth the effort. I'm nearly there. Because I'm wearing the same clothes, it maybe looks like this hasn't taken very much time, but we're looking at, from the point when I started the joints to now, 2.5 weeks. And I'm doing between 3 to 5 hours a day. So I'm not doing all day every day, but I am consistently putting effort in, and it is taking an absolute age. It's made me realise, strangely enough, what a massive accomplishment doing the cabin was. I don't think I recognised it at the time, but doing this again has made me realise, maybe I'm just a bit older and I haven't quite got so much energy, but I do think actually that doing 2 rooms in the cabin, plasterboarding, doing all the joints, all the rest of it, was a mega accomplishment. The difference was I did have Joe helping. I mean, he did a lot of the plasterboarding, but I did all the joints and all the sanding, and I kind of forgotten how long it had taken. But anyway, we're nearly there. One last dusty sanding day in here, hopefully. Maybe I can start to get the undercoat on. Yesterday, I think I finally nailed the worst of the sanding. I've given the whole place a good clean and the dust has settled. So now I can get on and paint. Very exciting! Really pleased with how it's coming along. So last night I had a really late night. I've managed now to put 2 coats of paint on, still got 1 coat to go. Really pleased with how it's turning out. Like in the first cabin, as soon as the white walls come together, it just makes the windows pop, and it really draws you into what's going on outside and have that connection with nature, which is really important to me. So what's next? Next week I'm going to go and get some flooring. I've ordered some wood to do the window surrounds. The next video is actually going to be a bit different. We're going to go out into the Morvan and explore some really interesting sites together, which is going to help me resolve one of my biggest problems living off-grid here. I hope you'll join me for that as the spring really swings into action. I hope this video has inspired you to get outside in nature and take on a small project yourself and see it through to the end. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and I hope you have a really good week.